Okay, I just wanted to share with you this really cool 3D printed lock. I think it's fascinating because it is so simple how it works, and it's often the case where we don't know how something works and it seems like magic, it seems like alien technology, but actually the gimmick or trick or how it works is very simple. I mean, putting this thing together, I even doubted that this was going to work. It is so simple, but yet it does. So I have to share this cool stuff. Just a little backstory before we get into that lock. I just wanted to show you something. This was an original thing, an original lock tumbler that I made out of wood when I was in high school. Actually, in high school, I made one that was like a skeleton key, and then for whatever reason, I was just fascinated with locks and how they worked. And eventually, about the age of 19, I want to say 19 and a half, I started making an authentic wooden lock. I think I maybe saw in a woodworking magazine where people were making clocks, and it just blew my mind that you could have this advanced technology from the past. I mean, they were making this stuff actually quite some time ago, like the wooden clocks. Anyway, I just wanted to show you, this is exactly what I made when I was working on the wooden lock. And basically it's got these tumblers in here, and when you put the key in, it lowers them, and then eventually they're all level with this curve. And what happens is when it's in this cylinder, then once you have the right combination of key that lowers that down, then this can rotate. And then on the back side of this, there would be like a gear or something that would actuate a locking arm. Anyway, this was, as soon as I got into 3D printing, I'm like, this is another really cool thing that I have got to make, because you can make things so much more accurate with 3D printing. I use filament printing. I really haven't gotten into the resin 3D printing yet, where that's even a whole nother level of accuracy. But it's about, I want to say 0.2 millimeters accuracy with the filament printing, which is pretty freaking incredible. I mean, the detail is just incredible. But anyway, I saw this lock and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute, before I get to that one, let me show you this other lock. So, and I've posted videos on this one. Basically, it blew my mind again that you could make a working 3D printed lock. And this one is real basic. It's got a shaft here that has a slot on it, and inside here on these pieces that turn, they have to all be lined up so that that little tit on that shaft will pass through. So very simple kind of 3D printed lock. And it's gigantic, because I, of course, had to make it big. Anyway, the bigger it is, sometimes it's easier to digest how it works. But anyway, back to this lock. So how this works, this is just so freaking mind-blowing. And it's a similar principle to some of the like safes, how it works. So like right now, it is in the unlocked position, and you can see this here is the part that would turn out of the way, right? This is the part that goes down into the lock. And of course there would be a dial face on here, so you would be able to count the numbers and rotations and everything. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to lock it. And as soon as I do that, actually, and I learned this on a video, a normal lock, you'll notice when you pop it in, the number will spin a little bit. And the reason it does that is because it's wanting to kick these a little bit further, so instantly it's locked. But what I learned is you can actually, perhaps 9 out of 10 times, take a lock and you can spin it one way 10 clicks and back, and sometimes you can actually unlock a lock again. The only purpose when this goes like that is to misalign those, and they should, and you'll see that, but it doesn't completely mess them all up. Anyway, all three of these have to get in alignment, and as soon as they're all in alignment, that's when, let me see if I can do this to where you can see a little bit better. That's when these all will, this bar will pass through, and that's what allows this to come out. All right, but I want to show you, this is so simple, it's gonna blow your mind. So in between these here are these little tits. There's one here that comes down, and there's one here, let me spin it around, that comes up. So what happens is they run into each other. Now notice what happened here. See how this one, it lines up and then it starts spinning the second one. And if we keep going around, eventually it's gonna sync up with that next one, and all three of them are spinning. All right, so when you reset a lock after you've missed the combination, you've been off by a little bit and it didn't unlock, that is why you do that. You're getting them all in alignment to start all over again. Now, I don't have the number face on here, so I'm just gonna do it by visual. Let's see here. I'm going to, turn it this way, all right? And then I'm gonna get, I think it's the top one first. Or no, not the top one, the bottom one. I'm not a locksmith. All right, so then that's the first number. And then I'm gonna turn it this way till the next one starts to spin, and that's gonna be the second number. Oop, it went too far. And then I'm gonna turn it the other way till it's the third number. And when you have all three numbers, then, oops, it unlocks the lock. Isn't that freaking cool? Anyway, I just had to share it with you. Let me know what you think. Was it easier or harder than you thought?